They appear to glow in the dark. That's a cool feature.
Hello, please press the code number.
So, I just got this box, and it is my Elinchrom ELC Pro HD 500 set. I ordered it from B&H Photo, and I ordered it about 4 days ago. It already arrived from America to Japan. It's pretty fast. Let's open it up. So it seems, as usual, B&H did a pretty good job packing this in here. Got a bunch of these airbags. These are really annoying to have to individually cut them all open before throwing them away. But there's a bunch of them in here. They're pretty safe. Inside the box is another box. This is the ELC Pro HD 500 to go set. Comes in the bag. Let's get this box out of the way. There it is. So, yeah, looks a little torn up actually, but whatever. How do we get this out? Seems like this slides out of here. Put it on the side. That slides right off. And then you just got the simple white box. Open it up. And there is everything in the bag. It's a pretty nice bag. I actually already have one of these bags. I found this for an amazing price on B&H. It was cheaper to buy this whole set than buy them individually. Like a lot cheaper. So thank you to B&H. So the way to open this bag, it has a little clip here, unclip it, has Velcro, and then it has a zipper, or a zipper first, I don't know, whatever. This actually does feel slightly different from the bag that I have, although the design is the same. Open it up, right on top you got the sync cord, I believe. I don't think I'll be using that. In here, there's a shoulder strap that you can attach to the outside of the bag. It's tough. It's a good shoulder strap, has a little pad here. It's good quality. I do use it. This is relatively heavy, so having the shoulder strap helps to carry it around. I don't know how well you can see, but inside here it's got these separators, almost like a regular camera bag. It's two big separators, so you can, I guess they have it set up with one on either side, and the middle area is used for power cables, and there's a wonderfully protected modeling lamp here. It's not broken, so I guess that's fine. That is a little bit, just a little bit damaged though, that box. That would be annoying if I had to get a new one of those. They're like $70. So it has a power cable. This one actually does come with a Velcro strap around it. When I ordered the cheaper D-Lite 4s, or D-Lite RX 4s, whatever they're called. First of all, the to-go set came in a different pack, which did not have space to keep these power cables, which is why I got the bag separately afterwards, but the cables didn't come with this. It's a small thing, but it's nice to be able to have this. I bought them from the dollar store. I bought some Velcro wraps, but this is nice. They say Elinchrom on them. It has a little tab here that without Velcro on it, so it's easy to grab and pull it off. That's nice. There's a little elastic on the end of here. I actually don't know what that would be used for. It's like an elastic loop. Not sure. Maybe that's probably a logical way to use that, like to wrap this around, I don't know, whatever, just wrap it, Velcro it, it's Velcro. There's two of those, and there's another less damaged modeling light. That's good. Down at the bottom of this middle section, there is the EL Skyport. This is the older one There's actually two newer models. There's the high speed, high sync, whatever they call it model, which is a larger one. And they also do have one other new one that, I don't know, I don't care. I have the high speed one, which is great for me. And now, last but not least, is the lights. These are a bit bigger than the D-Lights. Otherwise, I mean, the shape is relatively the same. The handle is much nicer. It's rubberized. Has an easy grip there. The plastic body part of it does feel strong. It's solid, except for this part. The cap is the same. This bag does also have a pocket on the outside, on either side, and in here now are the instructions, which I will take out of there and leave out of there. And actually the pocket on the other side is a different kind of pocket. It zips up and around so that it's actually larger, and it has this two pocket Velcro mesh inside. So there's two pretty useful pockets on the outside. I noticed that during my unboxing video, I accidentally cut off a lot of what I was trying to show you after I took it out of the box. So I wanted to make this new video just to show you a little more clearly the different features that I noticed at that time, as well as what I noticed afterwards when using it, and compare it side by side a little bit to the D-Lite RX 4. So first off, you can see there is a slight size difference. If I turn them sideways, it's a little bit more noticeable. Let me just turn that around so you can see the D-Lite 4 is shorter, the body is shorter, as well as a little bit narrower, but it's not a huge difference. The back is obviously different, but one thing that I didn't hear in any other review was that these buttons here actually glow in the dark, which is really cool. It makes it easier to see, as well as having the screen here, which gives you just a ton of information. If I turn it on now, you can see a little bit of that information. Of course, there's a bunch of videos and reviews online where you can see in detail all of the features that this has on the screen. So I'm not going to go into detail there. I'm just going to talk about a few of the things that I really enjoyed the most already. Turn this on too, might as well. So first of all, you can see that this button here, it turns very easily. It's got a good rubbery feel to it on the front and also on the sides. It turns smooth, it clicks very smoothly, and you just push it to test fire the flash. You can see up top here, let me take this plastic off. Ooh, it's brand new. You can see up here that it has the frequency as well as the group displayed and a bunch of other information. But what's really great here is as you change the power, it tells you how many watts you're using at that power, as well as the flash duration. So for example, here I'm at 2.5, the flash duration is 1/4650th of a second. Now that is the T0.5 time, which is about 3 times as much as the actual effective flash duration when you're talking about freezing motion. But if you go up to either 3.0 or 3.1, it is at the maximum flash duration, or the fastest flash duration, which for the 500 ELC, 500 watt ELC is 1/5000th of a second. The 1000 watt is very slightly faster. I believe somewhere around 1/5250th of a second. At this power, it is 57 watts. The 3.1 here is equivalent to 3.1 on all of Elinchrom's lights. And for a reasonably small-sized studio, I think that 3.1 will be sufficient if you're trying to really get the most out of this freezing action. But even if you go higher, it is not bad at all. If I go up to, let's say, 4.0, this is just below 1/3000th of a second. If I go up to 5.0, this is pretty much at 1/3000th of a second. And it does get a little bit higher in here somewhere. Yeah, it goes a little bit over 1/3000th of a second. Has some different power settings. It kind of jumps up and down. The fastest flash duration is actually not at the minimum or the maximum power like it is on a lot of flashes. It's somewhere right in the middle. Just while I have it turned on and side by side, I'll show you the difference in recycling time between the ELC and this D-Lite RX4. I have it on 3.1, so I'll show you starting from 3.1. I have the beep on, so you'll hear when it's ready to flash, but I'll try to keep it going as fast as possible. And now on the ELC. It is extremely fast, and that's not at minimum power. If I turn this all the way down to minimum power, you'll also notice one of my favorite features. It goes down to 0.3, which is just 8 watts. And for working in the studio with Studio Flash, but also trying to keep an open aperture, that's fantastic. I will be looking forward to using that feature as well. This one, the lowest it goes is down to 2.0, which I did often feel like wasn't low enough for many different reasons, but I'm really happy to have that big range. And even if you step up to, usually if you have a higher powered strobe, you can't pull it back as much, so they recommend having some of both, having a lower powered strobe and a higher powered strobe, so that way if you need the lower power, you can use the lower powered strobe, but if you need more power, you can use the higher powered strobe. But the ELC 1000 watt and 500 watt, only difference as far as power goes is on the high end. The 1000 watt also goes down to 0.3, which is identical 8 watts. So even if you go up to the 1000 watt model, you're not sacrificing anything on the low end, which is really great. So now let's just check out the recycling time at their respective lowest powers. This is of course at 2.0 and this is at 0.3, but these are the lowest powers available on each of them. So first we'll start off with the D-Lite RX4. It's not bad, but check this out. I almost can't push it fast enough. It's ready as soon as the button comes out, pretty much. And now let's just go up to max power. So this goes all the way up to 6.3, whereas this goes up to 6.0. Now keep in mind that 6.0 on both of these lights is identical. So this is only basically about 1/3 of a stop more powerful than this. This is 500 watts, this is 400 watts. But for the sake of showing you at their maximum power, let's test these out like this. So this is at 6.3. So it is noticeably slower than the lowest power, but I believe it's still under a second. That is a very fast recycling time for absolute full power. And now the D-Lite RX4 on full power. It is significantly slower. Now that may or may not matter to you, but it's a nice feature to have just in case the situation comes up when you miss a shot because you drop out in a flash, you fire before it's recycled. And that has happened to me, even in not really demanding situations. Another thing I do want to show is that actually this one, we'll start with the D-Lite RX. If it's not recycled, you can't use the flash. So you'll notice that when I'm trying to push before it's fully recycled, nothing happens at all. But I noticed that on this one, it will flash with whatever power it has, and it will give you a red light here and a different tone to let you know that it flashed, but not at full power. So let's just check that out. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. So you can see there, it will flash. So if you're in a pinch, I imagine that flashing at less than full power is better than not flashing at all. Usually you might be able to bring that up in post. If you're using more than one light, it might become slightly complicated, but at least it's better than nothing, which has caused me some completely black shots in the past. Like I said, not even on a demanding situation. Of course, this is packed full of features, and I will make some more videos as I get to test it out and experiment more and more with the stroboscopic effect, the delay mode, and all the other features that this comes packed with. But those are the things that, as far as features go, were really, really nice for me. Now, I don't know if you've noticed yet or not, but compared to this light looks a little crooked. The reason is, let me just grab these here. When you're mounting these strobes, there are these two kinds of pins. This is the standard kind of pin that will come with most like Manfrotto light stands, or it's the same size as comes with this is the Elinchrom stand, and it sits straight on there with no problem, as you can see. But this little bit thicker, I believe this is a baby pin. I could be wrong, please don't hate me for that. This is an Avenger stand, and it has this pin, same size pin as this here, and it actually, for whatever reason, does not sit straight on there, and you can see that it's slightly crooked. Maybe you can see that, I'm not sure, but it is slightly crooked. I've never had a problem with it with this light, even using it on the end of a boom arm. It's slightly crooked, but it seems secure enough when you screw it in tight. I would like if Elinchrom would fix that, but it's not the end of the world. Generally speaking, this mounting area, I don't know what it's called, but it's not very different between these two. I'm not actually sure if it's different at all. This ELC may feel very, very slightly stronger, but it is still plastic. The design is still the same, the functionality is still the same. To move the light up and down, you loosen this kind of lever, which does have the option to pull it out and reposition if you are in a tight space or whatever, but it does fit enough that you can turn it the full 360 degrees without hitting the light itself. And then it has the little screw on the other side to screw in tightly to the pin or the top of the light stand. If we turn these around so you can see the front, I'm going to turn these off actually. So to turn this off, if you press it once, it will go into a kind of sleep mode, and you can activate it like really quickly to turn it back on again. So to turn it off, usually hold it for a couple seconds and it turns off just like an old TV set, which is kind of a cool little visual. So of course the modeling lights on these are different. The modeling light on this one is 300 watts, it's extremely strong. I actually have one over here on this bouncing off the wall just to kind of give a little bit of fill light on this situation here. Not sure how much you can hear the fan on the video. The fan is obviously on because the modeling light has been sitting on for a few minutes. But it's extremely bright, and this is actually only at 5.0, not full power. You can adjust the modeling light either in proportional together with the actual flash power, or free, which is adjustable from the lowest to the highest power setting, but separate from the flash power, or you can turn it completely off. Now I have it set on 5.0. Bouncing off the wall about 5 feet from me in that direction, just to give a little light on here, but it's very useful. Now this one also has a glass dome around the flash tube and the modeling light to protect it, and they say it's because the high performance, the high speed bursts and everything of this light, it's a safety precaution in case the light happens to explode. It sounds scary, but I've never heard anybody having that happen to them. I like it. It gives a little bit extra protection when you're taking modifiers on or off, and you might sometimes bang it a little bit. I'd be much more afraid of banging the flash tube than banging this glass dome. And they do actually sell a frosted dome, which is similar to Profoto, if you want a little bit of a softer light, I guess. So one other point is the locking mechanism for the modifiers on here is the ring that goes the entire way around, and it will lock into place. And And I know that this, as well as the BRX and the other non-D-Lite Elinchroms, have basically the same system. And it is stronger. These are able to be used with larger modifiers than the D-Lite series. But I was a little disappointed. This is incredibly plasticky and kind of wiggly, and to be honest, it does not lock into place with as much confidence as I would have hoped. It is very easy to use, don't get me wrong. You push it in here, turn it in, which this also snaps into place as well, and as a double lock, you lock that so it can't turn back. I guess it's not a problem, but I don't know. I don't know why they didn't make it a little bit smoother, something. Now, the mechanism on the D-Lite series is similar. You still attach it the same way, but the lock is this little blue switch here. It's not a big problem. I don't particularly have any issues with it. It does feel a little bit cheaper because of the size, and I know that these lights are not supposed to support the same amount of weight as the higher series Elinchrom lights are, but up to a relatively large octabox, I've never had any issues with it. And the switch also has never given me any real problems, except that it's small and sometimes you have to kind of really search for it. But it's not a big deal. What I have on here now, on the D-Lite actually, is the 90-degree reflector. This 2-go set, the ELC 2-go set, came with 2 of these. I think this is actually from that set. And it also came with the oldest version, the one I got. I think that's why it was so cheap. It came with the oldest version of the EL Skyport system. I won't be using it, I'll keep it as a backup, but this is what I use. This is the, I don't know if they have the actual name on here. This is the EL Skyport. It's the high speed sync model, the one that goes together with the ELB, the new ELB lights. It's just fantastic. It's really easy to use. If I turn it on now, give it a second to start up. It's scanning, and now I turn these off so you can see the one ELC that I have for the modeling light. And you can use this to, you can see all the power settings and everything of all the lights that you have turned on. You can adjust the power settings, you can turn the modifier, the modeling light on or off. And just to show you that example, I will turn off now and back on. So I'm assuming you could see that light that I have bouncing off the wall turn off and turn back on. But even more than this, I mean, this is a little big, but it's really strong, and it feels much better quality than the older version. The older version feels really extremely plasticky, small, flimsy. It never slid onto the camera top with any confidence. The antenna felt like it would easily break. It used smaller battery, similar to a watch battery, which would be hard to find and very annoying to replace. This uses regular AA batteries, and it is larger, but I think I feel a lot more safe using this than the other one. I also do have the Sekonic Lightmeter, which was designed to work with the Elinchrom system. You can also use this to obviously fire your flashes. I don't know if you can see that. And if you go into this, you can see here the settings for, again, 4 groups of flashes, and you can adjust up and down from your light meter. I almost have no reason to adjust the lights from the top of my camera anymore, because when I'm checking my lights, I can adjust it right from this same unit. I highly recommend this if you're working with Elinchrom lights. So overall, I am extremely happy with the ELC 500s, and I would highly recommend them to anybody who is looking for something that has a wide range of features. It has a fast recycling time and a fast flash duration, and has a strong modeling light, has really unique creative features that I am very excited to test out from now on, and I will make videos on that when I have a chance to play around with it enough. My only complaints would be, as I said, this locking mechanism for the modifiers and the mounting area here. I wish they would redesign it a little bit. Although it does feel stronger, smoother, better quality than the D-Lights. Otherwise, this is a fantastic light, and I'm already in love with it, and I'm excited to use it a lot more from now. So please keep updated to this channel, and I will make many more videos about using these lights as well as other lenses, cameras, and many other topics. If you have any questions, comments, corrections, please leave them in the comments below, and don't be afraid to subscribe to get updates when I post new videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching.